Today we've got a massive Manchester derby against Manchester City, but the biggest news on deadline day was actually Pep Guardiola offering us 70 million for Jadon Sancho. We did turn it down this time, but if a different club had offered it, we might have been tempted to accept it. One thing we did need to do, of course, was sign a backup striker because Gakpo isn't going to be able to play in every single match, and Rashford's probably a bit better out on the wing. Some of you may recognise this young man here from playing for Bayer Leverkusen. It's Serdar Azmoun, the Iranian striker. He was pretty decent at the World Cup. He's happy to be a backup, and he boosts our profile in Asia. 3 things that the Manchester United board are very happy for. We had enough spare money in our budget as well, but we did nearly get a huge amount of extra money. You can see here Bruno Fernandes was almost accepting a deal to go to Real Madrid. We wanted £105 million for him. They were only willing to offer 86. Looking back on it now, we probably should have accepted that. We did try and push to a 95. They came back with 89. We said, no, give us 90 million. And for some reason, that extra 1 million was the breaking point for Carlo Ancelotti, despite flying from Madrid to Manchester. So Bruno will stay with United. That was the end of our deadline day. It was actually a pretty eventful day. So I'm going to hand you over back to a live commentary version of myself, where we're going to play the Manchester derby right now. So now it was time for what was probably going to be the toughest match of our season. Manchester City against Manchester United at the Etihad Arena. Of course, there's the typical pre-match build-up. There's the stadium looking amazing. Not too far away from Old Trafford. The two stadiums are about a couple of miles apart. Obviously, both in Manchester, both very good stadiums. But the Manchester City squad at this point is actually a little bit better than the Manchester United one. There are a few areas where I think Man United do have the better players, and I think Casemiro would probably be the only one that gets into the Manchester City squad. But let's see how we can get on against Manchester City. You can see they're travelling Reds right there, ready to cheer on the Red Devils. Let's see if we can get some points, and I know we're going to be trying our best to do exactly that. Oh, Rashford's finally got past Kyle Walker into the box. Tries to hit it across the goal, but that's an awful shot. But we had the first shot of the match, which is probably more than we expected. Wow, Mahrez is on good form. 5 goals in 3 games. That's like Haaland in real life. Pretty good. Haaland only needs 1 chance. He just turned Maguire. Just ran straight through. What a goal. Blasted it as well. Look at him, getting a bit too close to the camera for my comfort, but 1-0 to Manchester City. I don't think it's unexpected, and let's have a quick look at this. He just lets it run. Maguire goes to ground. Yeah, there's no chance we're stopping that one, unfortunately. 1-0, we're going to have to try our best to get back into this game. Right, Gakpo getting it on the counter-attack. Just every time we try and pass the ball, Rodri seems to be there. It's impossible to get past someone like him with this kind of play, so we need to step it up a gear. Let's have a go with Anthony this time. Can he get inside? Cancelo's right there. We go around Rodri this time. Rashford's on it now. Sancho, can he find Gakpo? He can. Gakpo's one-on-one, and Gakpo equalises. Good bit of play there. Gakpo scoring his first decent goal against a really good goalkeeper in Edison. So 1-1 in the Manchester derby. Happy with that. What a tackle from Maguire. It looked like Haaland was just going to turn. And we're actually on the counter right now. Can we get it over the top to Gakpo? No, we can't. Poor pass, but what a good bit of play from Mr. Maguire at the back right there. That's why he's in the team. Bit of strength, bit of international knowledge. Right, Anthony getting it out wide. Can he somehow play it into Gakpo? He can. Can he get to Rashford? Cut inside Rashford. Right, no, back to Shaw. Get the ball in. Is anyone in there to head it? No. We haven't got that kind of player on the pitch, unfortunately. Maybe we should have gone for like a Bas Dost or a Wout Weghorst. Someone who can just knock the ball in with their head in games like this. But still decent play from Shaw and Rashford. Haaland getting the ball. Come on, let's get in the way. Nice bit of play there from Varane. Now we're on the counter ourselves. Get inside. Pass it to Sancho. Of course, used to play for Manchester City, Sancho. Gets it out to Shaw. Oh, he can't quite get past Walker. Walker and Rodri, 2 best players on the Manchester City team by far so far in this game. Haaland, of course, scored the goal, but every time we're trying to attack, one of those 2 players is there, and it's really difficult to get past them, but you can see the difference Haaland makes there. He just runs into space, but Thankfully, his passing isn't quite as good as his pace and his shooting. Can Rashford and Gakpo link up? They can. Rashford's through here. He's got Gakpo if he wants to pull it back. Oh, he didn't. He got it stuck between two different stride patterns there, I think. Otherwise, he would have gone for the shot, tried to chip it over Ederson, but unfortunately, just rolled away from it at the last minute. So, still 1-1, and that's going to be half time. I think 1-1's probably better than we thought we would be doing, especially after we went down so early in the match. So, let's have a look. Have we got any changes we can make? We've got Serdar Azmoun, the Iranian international, on the bench, but we're not going to bring him on just yet, I don't think. Rashford, Sancho, they're all fairly evenly tired, so let's just keep playing in this sort of manner. Gakpo reverse ball to Anthony. He's done a spin. He's through. Oh, 1-on-1. He tried to curl it round Ederson, but only out for a corner. We're getting the tutorial yet again. Anthony on the corner as well, so let's try and chip this one in. Fernandes is there. Oh, he heads it just wide, but another few chances there for Manchester United. Not doing too bad at all. Morris tries to get past Maguire, but not only does Maguire win the ball, he wins the throw. Good bit of play from him there. Gakpo getting the ball, trying to get around the centre-back. Can't quite do it this time. Haaland on the other side of the pitch. He's got a big bit of space if they could have found him there, but thankfully for us they couldn't, and Cash wins us the ball back, and Varane's just going to safely play it back to De Gea. Casemiro out to Anthony. Anthony to Gakpo. Oh, intercepted well by Diaz there. Oh, what a tackle that is from Casemiro. Great stuff. Love to see that. Cash is overlapping though. And Cash, can he get around Cancelo? Oh, he can't quite play it through his legs. Otherwise, Anthony was in a nice bit of space right there. But unfortunately, good interception. Cash getting in the way of the ball again there. He's playing really well, mate, Cash. Maybe not quite as good as Kyle Walker, but he's still having a good game. Oh, and he was nearly played through there by Sancho, but I think he just miskicked the pass into the ground. Oh, Rashford could be in there. Oh, it's gone to the wrong player. It's gone to Gakpo instead, but nice bit of 1-2. We did find some space behind Kyle Walker, so maybe he's starting to get a little bit tired. Just like Luke Shaw seems like he is as well. Can we stop Haaland getting that shot away? Thankfully, yes. Cash has won the ball. He hasn't given away a penalty like in the Newcastle game, so he's just going to try and overlap here. Oh, his pass is pretty bad. Can Martinez get there? I think really he should have left that. I'm not sure why he tried to control that, but it's going to be a corner for Manchester City. Perez taking it. Gets it into the box. Haaland wins it, but we're just going to clear that as far as we can. If Gakpo can turn here. Fernandes is through. Fernandes. Oh, he had a real chance there of actually scoring, but unfortunately for us, he just hit it over the bar. He was in the box. It was a decent chance. Time to make some serious substitutions here. Azmoun making his debut. Garnacho, Martinez, and also Dalot fullback. So 4 changes. Hopefully that can sort of give us a bit more liveliness, a bit more pace up front. Actually having a striker on the pitch for the first time this season as well should help. Can Garnacho be a hero in the Manchester derby? Who knows? Haaland's got the ball out wide. He's pulled it back. Oh, good save from De Gea. He needed to make it. I think that could have gone in if it was any other goalkeeper. Oh, another good save there from David De Gea. Another corner for Manchester City now then. Can we get the head on it? We can. Falls to Haaland. Oh, I think it wasn't Haaland, was it? It was Ruben Diaz over the bar. Thank God for us. I mean, that was a really good chance for Manchester City. Azmoun with his first touch in a Manchester United shirt. Somehow finds Sancho. If he can return the favour, if he can win this. Oh, he can't quite do it. Can we get it back to him though? We can. He's on the edge of the box. Is Sancho onside? No, he's offside, but it was a good shot, but still saved by Ederson, even though he had a bit of an advantage of being offside. Yeah, miles off in the end, but just a few minutes left now. We're in stoppage time. 3 minutes added on, so we'll probably have maybe one last attack in this game. This could be the last attack, in fact. Anthony's got the ball. Can he find someone? Oh, he just can't quite do it. So this is going to be... We just have to stop this one chance, and we've got to draw. We dive in. Dalot wins it. And that's how the game's going to finish, 1-1. All even in Manchester between two of the best teams in England. So that early goal from Haaland did nearly win them the match, but I think overall we had a fairly even time of it. With the XG, we were actually ahead. We had 100 passes to their 144, but that's always going to be expected when you're playing at the Etihad. But overall, a good performance, and I'm happy with that one from the lads. So that'll probably be the last live commentated game we'll do for quite a while. Next up, we have a Europa League game against Real Sociedad. With the fireworks and the light shows going off, you could sense this had a big match feel to it. I think it's the group stage for the Europa League, and let's see how we get on in our first European match. We had a strong team, but Sociedad had the weirder one. They had Ivan Toney, they had Callum Wilson up front, David Silva playing as a centre midfield. It meant we had a good chance of getting some good possession because they didn't have that much defence actually in their midfield. They were going to be pretty strong on the attack though, so we did have to be a bit wary of any kind of counters. As usually though, Anthony started off pretty well, dribbling inside. He plays like a really floaty winger. We like him cutting inside. Cash with a decent cross. Oh, Rashford can't quite get there this time. But with Kubo out on the wing again, we're going to have some players overlapping and just trying to use their pace to get around him. Looks like we've intercepted it here. Sancho plays it across to Gakpo. After 7 minutes, we've scored. It's already 1-0. 8 minutes just gone on the clock. Gakpo scored his first European goal for Man United. Everything's looking good for us. While the table says it's 0-0-0-0, we're actually going to get a chance to score a second goal right now. Anthony again doing his trademark spin move, plays it into Bruno. Bruno with a long shot. Oh, it just goes wide of the post, but another good chance from us. One of the English strikers there losing the ball, I think it was Toney, gives us another chance. Sancho cutting inside, getting onto his right foot. Bruno on the edge of the box, tries to play it back to Sancho, gets his own shot away. It curls just away from the goal and into the crowd. Malacia gets the ball out wide, plays it to Fernandez. Fernandez into Fred. Gakpo's in there as well. He's on a yellow card, but he went for the tackle, got away with it. Malacia, the ball bounces off him a couple of times, but his shot only goes marginally wide. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but I did actually forget to record the Real Sociedad goal. We missed that clip, so you're just going to have to take my word that it was a pretty average goal, and we did actually dominate the entire match. If we have a look at the post-match stats right now, then you're going to see we absolutely dominated. We had more possession, we had better shots, more XG. It was just their 2 shots, one of them happened to go in. A team who always does well on XG because of their striker is of course Tottenham Hotspur, and that's exactly who we were playing in our next Premier League game. We did go all out for the win against Sociedad, so we did have to play a very rotated team in this one. You'll see some players like Palestri here on the wing getting forwards, Van der Beek playing centre midfield, and I think Azmoun made his debut up front. There he is, passing it out to Cash. Cash chipping it through to Palestri. This is going to be our first chance maybe? No, he just couldn't quite control it. But if we had our first team out, if that's Sancho getting on the end of that or Rashford, then who knows what would have happened. But for Spurs, Perisic was playing it through to Kane. Kane gets into the box, outside the boot. Shaw can only control it off his knee. But thankfully, the shot from Kulusevski goes wide this time. Next up though was a Spurs attack, and it was Son and Perisic who did a 1-2. Martinez couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet in time. Perisic would play it across, and of course Harry Kane is not missing a goal like that from about 7 yards out. So all of a sudden 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. We didn't have too many chances in this one. It felt like basically every one of our passes would be intercepted by either Romero or Bissouma, and it was actually Tottenham who would score the second goal as well. Perisic getting the ball from cutting inside, just plastered it straight past David De Gea. But Shaw would get the ball from Man United. He tried to do a trick to get away from Harry Kane, found Eriksen. Eriksen tries to play it through to Rashford. Rashford back to Luke Shaw on the edge of the box. His right foot's not as good as his left foot, so that's gone wide yet again. We weren't too impressed by someone like Azmoun up front. He didn't really have the same physicality and pace as Gakpo, and you can see exactly why right there. Gakpo's running into that gap, Gakpo's getting a one-on-one, and Gakpo's probably scoring, whereas Azmoun is more of a box striker, so he can't really do that running in behind and making the chances himself, and that's why I think Gakpo is going to be a little bit better for us, and why Azmoun is just a backup striker. But Spurs would pull the ball across yet again, and really that should have been another goal. I'm not sure who actually did the shot there. It might have been Doherty possibly, but yeah, it's not great for Manchester United. You can see here our passes, even Maguire, who's got really good passing to be fair, couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet. This should have been 3-0 again right there for Spurs. They've had 2 chances to kill the game. Even our backups were getting tired now, so we had the likes of Fred and McTominay on the pitch. Maguire was still being our best rated centre-back. And Harry Kane doesn't need too many chances, and when he gets a shot like that, it's always going to go in if he's on any kind of form. Azmoun would have another chance yet again here, but he'd just be absolutely bullied by Romero once again. And that would basically be the end of the match. Romero would pass it round at the back, so would Dier and Højbjerg, and that would be it. It would be 3-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski, they've all absolutely dominated us there, but we do have the excuse that it was a weakened team, of course, because of that Sociedad game, whereas Spurs, I don't think, actually even played a European match in midweek. So, you know, we're going to have to try and step things up in our next match, and we do only have one very short match left in this episode. It's going to be a cup game against Swindon Town. So we're going to fully rotate our team, rest every single player basically for the rest of the Premier League season, and hopefully we can get a nice win in the cup against Swindon Town. So let's have a look at the team that we've picked. So we've got Lindelof, we've got Tuanzebe. Anyway, let's get straight into the game. You might not know some of these reserve players, but hopefully you'll know them after this match. First chance was 22 minutes in. Garnacho had a curler that possibly could have gone in. The next chance was just before the hour mark. Azmoun against McDonald. You mean Azmoun's a Premier League footballer. You're always going to expect he's going to win that race, but he couldn't quite finish. His header would come across, and Garnacho from probably about 2 centimetres out would blast the ball in and make it 1-0. We'd have one more chance really towards the end of the game. Azmoun would be one-on-one yet again, and he would miss his shot, but that is exactly how the match would end. As we watch Harry Kane run off the pitch yet again, I'm going to say that's the end of the episode, so thank you all for watching. Subscribe for episode 4, like the video if you want to see it sooner than later, and I'll try and get it out as soon as we can this week. But thanks for watching, see you soon, cheers and goodbye.